All right, welcome back to Man Down Sports, man. As you can see from the thumbnail, we got to go over some of the things that was said with David Falk and Rich Paul, man. It seems like they getting into it and like a little tug of war thing when it's dealing with LeBron James and Michael Jordan. The rundown is right there available for you. Those are the topics we'll be going over. And we got 5-panel member show for you, man. Welcome back, Sports T and Chris and Jay and Zoe. And of course, me, we got the gang back. Everybody except E Money and Corey, man. So we'll probably have them another time. And Britne for sure.
She gonna talk crazy to you. She listens to this intro, bro.
Y'all act like I can't make no mistakes, man. Hey, players mess up too.
Players do.
Players really do mess up.
I was here to help. That's what they call me, assist Nation.
Exactly, and that's what it's all about, man. You know what I mean? Wasn't nobody here to help Tory Lanez though, but that's another topic for another day.
Or for the post, because I got some questions about that.
That man got Swiss cheese.
I got some answers, yo. I got some answers.
And we definitely gonna talk about it.
Oh man, but what's up though, man? What's going on with y'all on this Good Friday, man? It's a holiday weekend too.
Friday weekend for your boy. As of yesterday.
Hey, Fridays is cool, man. It's a holiday? Oh yeah.
Next week. Holiday.
Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm. Memorial Day.
Shout out to the brothers and sisters that never got a chance to make it home.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
And for that reason, we don't say Happy Memorial Day, a good Memorial Day and stuff like that. It's just you know what I mean.
It's just Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So make sure, man, when y'all doing whatever y'all doing, man, take a time and just think about the people, man, who gave the ultimate sacrifice so that you can live the lifestyle that you choose to live.
Dominque sacrificing her voice. Dominque, why you ain't spoke yet? We're 2 minutes in, and you ain't said a word.
She nervous. You nervous to be back with us? It's been a minute.
I'm really happy to be back. Honestly, I'm just soaking it in. It's a lovely Friday here in the Bay. The weather is great, and yeah. That's just really, I feel grateful to be back. So, hi, fellas. Nice to see you guys.
Damu.
Y'all. I'm
You
watching the game a little bit, too. It's 19-17 in the first quarter.
Did he say, who y'all?
Yeah, she said you were soaking it in. And
you always got to soak that chilling.
Nah, that ain't what it mean, yo.
All right.
Listen. Right. He about to start. Because
if y'all go Google what that mean in the Mormon dictionary.
I don't know about the Mormon dictionary.
It's wild. Hey, it's wild.
Okay. Hey, shout out to the members that helped me get Studio B off the ground, man. Let's shout out the members and
100%.
Yeah, I'll let y'all see what y'all helped me get while the members are getting shouted out.
Here he go.
Everything is. I still got something on the right side to do over there, so don't worry about that part. That's a little not complete, but thank y'all.
Man said a little not complete. All right. We got Torrance Hall, Savon Arnold, right hand Cam, Andrea Williams, L. Donald, Zarai Lyon, Simply Hot Takes, Wizman Ballin, Pharrell Scott, Cliff Hill, Laker Nation, Mikey Brass, the Joker. Welcome back, Dom. Mary Lewis, 6'4" Slim, Big Al, the Master Chief, who is retired. What's up, Khakis? They in the building. Malachi Israel, Scott, No Floyd, Merriweather, Ashley H. It's Not That Serious, Keith Brazel, Big T, James Reed, Demetrius Day, Taco Master, Cedric Franklin, E. King, Steve Calvert, Unspoken Voices, Taco Master again, Ryan Walters, WW, Shay J, R. Bean, Jeffrey Guyot, and Shy Rider, the West Sider. We appreciate all the support, man. Y'all been rocking with us, and we appreciate all the love in the comments and in the memberships. Man, keep rocking with us. We got some things in store.
Now we're working on Studio C.
Studio C,
a remote location. We're working on Studio C. Christian Woods, thanks for the $5 super chat. How MJ is the GOAT. What do we start, y'all? David Falk, man. I seen Dominque do this on Sports T this morning. She talked about it. So you get a chance to talk about it again, Dominque. But David Falk, if y'all haven't seen it, was doing an interview somewhere. I don't know where he was at, but he was asked a couple of things. He answered a couple of questions. But there's one question in particular where he actually spoke about LeBron James. He talked about, Michael Jordan, if he was to cherry pick his teams and cherry pick his teammates, that he would have more rings. And he said 15 rings, right? And I don't think Rich Paul liked that too much. So he came the very next day and got on Rich Eisen show so he can comment on that. So I'm gonna play for you what David Falk said. That's really quick, like 20 seconds. You'll hear some people from ESPN talking as well, but you'll hear David Falk, and then immediately after that, you're gonna hear Rich Paul's response to it, and then I want to see what y'all think.
Holding me while I'm on the air, Brandon. It's an interesting decision. Michael Jordan's longtime agent, David Falk, added a new chapter to this conversation yesterday. Here's what he said.
I really like LeBron, but I think that if Jordan had cherry-picked what teams he wanted to be on that had two other superstars, he would have won 15 championships.
Oof.
Okay, so for those in the room who couldn't hear what he was saying, that's David Falk, who was no longer Michael Jordan's agent, but was forever and will always be thought of that way, saying that he likes LeBron. Any conversation, any statement that starts with, look, I really like LeBron, this isn't
with all due respect,
not going somewhere good. It is the classic all due respect. He said if Jordan had cherry-picked where he wanted to go and had two other superstars, he would have won 15 championships. The only place to start for perspective. 12. 15's an exaggeration.
Yeah.
And here's
David
Rich.
Falk said something the other day about LeBron cherry picking, and they was talking about it this morning. And I'm like, that's interesting to use the term cherry picking when, if we're going to make a fruit basket here, maybe I'll sing you one after I leave for having me on the show.
Thank you, Rich.
But the careers of the LeBron and Michael Jordan, it's not apples and apples for a number of reasons. But the cherry picking terminology of it all, coming from someone who literally had John Thompson, Dean Smith, and Mike Krzyzewski supporting his business, putting superstar athletes in his lap. I think he was part of the Cherry Clan. My dad used to sell that candy back in the day. I just thought that was very unfair and a little beneath David Falk for a number of reasons. And so we can't have revisionist history, and we all want to just determine who's the GOAT and who's the best and so on and so forth. But I just thought that was a little beneath David to say that. And I'll table that there. But,
well, I was.
All right, David. So you got two things to deal with. David Falk saying if Michael Jordan would have cherry picked where he would go, what teammates he would play with, and he was to do that every 4 to 5 years to keep it fresh, he would have 15 rings. And then Rich Paul saying that, basically Mike didn't have to leave because people was just dropping stars in his lap to play with. And like that, and just the whole thing, man. Y'all thoughts on both of their comments?
Well,
I
think Rich Paul was more so saying that David Falk was getting cherry picked clients to be an agent for it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, is that what he was saying?
As far as getting stars from pretty much the ACC.
So why deflect like that, though?
Because he don't have no argument.
But who cares what David Falk was doing?
So pretty much what he said is, how dare David Falk say something about somebody cherry picking when you was cherry picking? But that
ain't the topic, though.
Dude.
Maybe
so if you come to me right now and say, man, Jack got on a yellow shirt, all I'm gonna say is, man, hey, look, you bought a yellow shirt before too. I can't say I don't.
That's not the same thing. If you and Zoe had on shirts, and I'm just commenting saying, oh man, if Zoe would have wore the shirt Jay has on, then he would be getting all the girls in the club. And then you attack me for not getting girls. It wasn't about me, it was about you and Zoe. So David Falk was talking about LeBron and Mike, and then Rich Paul's rebuttal was, well, David Falk, you did X, Y, and Z. I was talking about Mike and LeBron.
Well, there's two things. There's two things here. Number one, Rich Paul probably thinks that what he says has some validity in it. I think 15 is hyperbole, but I know for sure he would have won more than 4
and more than 6.
And probably
he's already at more than 4. So you know what I'm saying?
Right. So he probably would have got more.
David Falk didn't even really have to say that. All David Falk had to say is, "Look, man, Mike stayed with the Bulls for his whole playing career for the most part, and still did more while doing less." You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I think if Jordan would have teamed up with Shaq or Hakeem or whatever, of course he'd have won more rings. There's nothing else to say there. He was doing it by beating those guys. So if you add those guys to him, of course he would have won more rings. Of course.
So it puts a lot of things in perspective if you just deal with that comment and it just admit defeat on it and say you're right, instead of trying to come back and attack David Falk.
That's what he did by attacking him. He attacked him because he couldn't say that he was wrong.
Correct.
But you know that machine that Clutch Sports, they're not, listen, if you say anything other than LeBron is the best ever and second only to Jesus, you have disrespected that man to the highest level, even if it's not true. Even if it's not true. So I mean,
stands.
I respect a lot of what LeBron does as far as playing basketball, but y'all already know me. Anytime that he get into this goofy shit, I'm gonna tell you it's goofy. And he sent his man out there to do some goofy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's crazy. First of all, let me go ahead and address this. I'm gonna get the girls in the club no matter what shirt I got on, Mel. So, but nah, for real, man, I wish I had a PR team like LeBron. That dude waited less than 24 hours to put the cape on.
Bro, he said, I'm on the way. Call whoever. And he probably go on another couple of more podcasts.
Oh, yeah. He gonna make a run out of this. I like to be selective. Like, what made him choose him to go on the show? Is he gonna they probably done with Pat McAfee after the audio and stuff came out, so they ain't go on his show. But yeah, man, this is typical caping. It was a factual statement, just like Jay said, and rather than acknowledging the statement, he rather say, okay, well, put the mirror in your face. What about you? Don't look at me. What about you? And I think that's just a cop-out, but it proves the point. Like, the GOAT conversation never really was a conversation to begin with. If it's just what they made it to be. They are making them, not you, because I ain't a part of that. They making you try to look at him like it's actually comparable when it's not. And Rich Paul, as great as he has been for a lot of his clients as an agent, as much as LeBron has done in this league, especially the accolades and the longevity, that's goofy. It's just goofy behavior. Like Jay said, it's just lame. It's lame, but what we've come to expect.
Zoe, did you see the subtleness that Rich Paul tried to say? Like, hey, you can't even compare their careers isn't apples to apples. I was like, man, look, anytime people start talking about apples and oranges, niggas ain't really got no argument.
No. This was the cringe. This was the cringe part when he said, when he said the cherry, he was like cherry picking. Well, that means you're part of the Cherry Clan. He thought that was clever. Like, it is a candy Cherry Clan, but he was trying to say something else. He was trying to circle the wagons for a white guy.
I know what he was doing
with that word clan. He was trying to do that.
It was.
And the reason why I knew he was trying to do that because how he acted after he said it, because he felt like he had to explain it because he
didn't let it play.
Yeah, he didn't.
He does not.
Horrible, man. These are horrible people, man. I feel like, listen, I lie to you not, man. The reason why people always want to point this stuff out on their platforms is because for me, it really feels like it ain't just a basketball conversation. It really feel like you're combating against evil people, like Rich Paul and LeBron and JJ Redick, the way they move and act, they seem like evil people. Like, these are evil people, man. That's what it feels like to me. I'm being honest.
Not
That's
evil.
just me.
Not evil. It's not even to me. What it feels like is You ever been to the beach, man, and you just want to have a good time, and it's that radical dude standing there with the megaphone telling you, man, if you have any sort of fun out here today, you are going to hell. That this world is going to burn with the head. That it feels more like that guy than evil, yo. For real. It feels like that extremist with the megaphone.
It seems like
because they shout from the mountaintop every chance they get. Hey man, y'all don't see. Look, this is what he just listen. This man put on his left shoe first and his right shoe next. This is greatness, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? They keep shouting from the mountaintop.
Yeah, but deception is evil, though, Jay. Manipulation and deception is evil. Like,
but it's not deception.
But listen, Jay, if you using your freaking
you wish that I was Rich Paul to you like Memphis Bleak is to Jay-Z. You wish I would be that friend to you. Everybody want a friend like that. You
Jay,
just ain't got friends like that, man.
Though. Not manipulation though. Not Jay, man. You need to go call them and force them to put me in the MVP conversation, or force me into the GOAT conversation, or pay these dudes as clients to make sure they speak up for me in the media. That wouldn't feel right to me.
I think the problem is, though, I don't think at this point LeBron is calling them to tell them to do it. I think it's automatic. I think anytime
it's automatic now, but the precedence is already been set. Like they got them
for sure.
I was just about to ask. I think that this is do he have to make a call anymore?
Nah.
They know what to do. They know what to do. They know what to do anytime any type of negative slander or anything that negative said about LeBron. They know what to do. They know who to call. They have the connections. They can make a call just like that. Hey, I want to come on your show tomorrow. And now, hey, Rich Paul is on the show tomorrow. You know, and that's a part of it. You know, the LeBron media been out there.
Yeah, I gotta hear from Chris and Dom. Dom, I don't know if you remember. It's been a while since you've been on panel. I don't know if you remember, but you can just jump in. you ain't gotta wait for us to stop talking. You can jump in. You can jump in.
I do want you guys to understand that we're recording during the Knicks.
Oh, distracted.
Yeah.
So I'm listening and I'm fully dialed in and I'm smiling and I'm also watching this game. But Chris, did you want to share what your thoughts were on this? I mean,
No,
I am also just really
Are you out of bullets because you already talked about it?
No, I actually have more to say about this because I only talked about David Falk. So I broke this right away and I just spoke on, like, I didn't have any sound from him. So he went on Stephen A. Smith. David Falk has been, like, he had this whole interview with Stephen A. Smith that I didn't get to see. I don't have actual audio. I just covered his initial comments that were reported by the Basketball Network. And
okay.
Other outlets, but like I just literally
so
put
yeah,
up
so now we gotta hear what he said on Stephen A. Smith, and then of course it was more that Rich Paul said on Rich Eisen as well. I didn't play all of it.
My thoughts on Rich, because I didn't even cover Rich Paul's reply. So this is really, I think this is just so rich that literally he's coming out so fast to do the damage control. To me, it's just so
quick.
So obvious that like he needs to get ahead of this, because when you have somebody this close, I don't think anybody this close to Michael Jordan has spoken about LeBron in this way before, you know, and the business conference comments that he made were much more subtle than the comments that he made today with Smith. I mean, much more. I mean, it was, to some, they perceived it very disrespectfully. So I don't know if you saw Stephen A's response to David Falk, where he was saying that it's ridiculous for anybody to imply that LeBron James is probably a top 10 player. But to me, this is just the reality of what I've been saying, what we've been saying on this platform, and so many other YouTube content creators. Like, LeBron's not even top 10. He is not a top 10 player. This to me is very obvious. Very obvious. And anybody that's close to the Sun, the real great players of all time, they know he's not a top 10 player in all-time NBA history either. David Falk is 75 years old. He's not, like we grew up watching 90s basketball, maybe some of basketball in the 80s we were able to go back and watch. And I'm sure like all seen old film, and I have a deep appreciation for Wilt Chamberlain, even though I wasn't alive to watch him during that time. I mean, I think that he was the greatest of all time prior to Michael Jordan. That was who was considered the greatest. So again, like, I really, Rich Paul coming out and doing this and saying what he said about David Falk, I think exactly along your lines, Mel. He's trying to play along. He's trying to race bait. That's exactly what he's doing.
He tried to do it without making it obvious.
But it was a poor job, though.
He obvious, but I mean,
he articulate himself well.
But isn't it so obvious, though, where LeBron James has gotten all of the excuses from? I mean, pretty much.
Man.
And I mean, and
is it LeBron's influence on him or vice versa? Is Rich influencing him? Because you remember when Phil Jackson was the president for your team, the Knicks,
and even
he
before
made that,
he
made that comment about LeBron's posse.
That
and they turned it into race. Yeah.
Even before Rich Paul became his agent, all of LeBron's excuse making. I mean, Rich Paul, you're right. I think that Rich Paul just works for LeBron and he's there to make the excuses fit. So whether it's because LeBron's been doing this for a long time. I'm just a kid from Akron. I shouldn't even be here. I'm a kid from Akron that lived with a white family, and got put in private schools. So, we don't talk about that piece though. So
but you made a good point when you said that he was very fast with jumping on something and responding. I mean, if we was playing Magic the Gathering, that comment must have been like a level. I mean, how many? What was the hit damage on that, Jay? And Magic the Gathering.
First of all, I've never played or heard of Magic the Gathering.
We're not doing this tonight, man.
I also want us for a moment, though, to cook on what Rich Paul actually said, the excuses. So the 24-hour news cycle comment, I have to debunk this because, again, the 24-hour news cycle that LeBron James is up against is the same way that he benefits from it. That's why he was able to come out in 2 seconds and get the LeBarbies on his side again. So it's just kind of like, here we go. Like, you're able to take advantage of certain things much faster. You're able to put out there whatever narrative you want. For years, people thought that Michael Jordan owned a jail. For years, there are people still right now. I
thought that years ago. Yeah, when that first hit the news, I was mad.
Who came out to debunk that for him? It was years that people believed.
I don't think nobody did.
And it was years that people, even the Republican comment that he made about, Republicans buy sneakers too. Did that mean that he was a Republican? No, but maybe that's how people took it. Maybe, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so again, you didn't have this laser quick way of getting your narrative out there. People thought whatever they wanted through book, print, radio, TV news, and that kind of media was set up totally different. LeBron James, nobody would be able to get 2 feet near his home to pop out of a bush and harass him and his family. That could never happen. Nobody could be able to get 2 feet away from his car to chase him down and kill him and his family, the way that Princess Diana was killed by paparazzi, and the way that people were able to literally hide out in bushes by Michael Jordan's home, follow him wherever they wanted. There was no recourse for that back then. So the invasiveness that players say that they have today, it's their own doing. If you want to be private, you can be private. We don't hear anything about Michael Jordan when we don't want to.
Yeah. Let me get to these super chats real quick before Chris go. This one, thanks Donald for the $20 super chat. Rich Paul knows where his bread is buttered and is coming to the defense of his client. I wouldn't be surprised if Rich was secretly telling Adele Kobe was that dude for real. I don't even, I had no comment on that. No Adele.
When you tell a lie so long,
that's his wife, right?
Believe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to say something.
But when you tell a lie so long and for as many lies as they tell together, he has to believe it. So Rich Paul believes what he has to make himself believe these things to come out here and embarrass himself and expose himself this way.
Yeah, Doug, the great $5 super chat. Great to see the whole crew on this evening. Keep doing guys' work. One more, Jay. One more. That ain't Dominique. That's AI. She ain't talking. Oh yeah, she's talking now. We got him. We got to start. That's why she was holding it back, because she had a lot to say. But yeah, go ahead, Jay and Chris.
No, I'm saying if somebody changes your financial status off of them playing basketball, and they've set you up to a point where you've married a pop icon, you probably do think they the GOAT. He might not be the GOAT for real, but he definitely your GOAT.
Yeah, that's That's fair. But
Michael Jordan was comparable to Michael Jackson, guys. That's the only person that Michael Jordan got compared to while he was playing the game of basketball. Period. The end. There was nobody bigger than Michael Jordan when he was playing the sport.
No. So what I'm saying is that's probably not arguable.
I am Uncle Tom. Thank you, young disciple.
Yeah. People need to know the actual story of Uncle Tom before we say those words. Yeah, so I know what you mean, and I know there's two different ways to look at Uncle Tom. So
I'm looking at it both ways.
My uncle name is Chris.
Way and the real way. Yeah, call me both of them.
My uncle name is Chris, and that's cool.
And my aunt name is Big Mike. We talked about her earlier.
I know you was about to saw you.
Chris, go ahead, Chris. Nope, Chris. I'm not even doing it.
We have to stop doing that, though. We have to stop deflecting to these kinds of things when, like, say something that is actually in defense.
Yeah. Name calling.
Don't attack our personal, but you're attacking our personal character, attacking who we are as people. Like that, we're talking about basketball. We're talking about our opinion. These are our takes. Like if we all have the right to choose the kind of content that we enjoy, and I want to encourage.
It's no different than what Rich Paul did.
Yeah, deflections.
Yeah, deflections. What about the deflections to all the black players and lives that they've ruined throughout the league? What about Jackson Hayes? Rich Paul probably ruined his career. Where's he going this season? He might not even make it to the
game. In Rich Paul's defense, he did get some people some bags that didn't deserve it.
He did. He did.
I know of a guy.
Why isn't Rich Paul criticizing Ben Simmons? Come out and talk about that.
Speaking of Ben got the bag too. Go ahead, Chris.
Draymond bag.
I was about to say there's a guy up in the Bay that got a bag that didn't deserve it.
averaging 0 points.
But first, I just want to say I don't ever remember agents ever being able to be this vocal. Going on media runs and circuits, you just handled the contracts. You were behind the scenes. It was only thing we heard about you was so and so assigned to so and so's agency company. That's all we needed to hear about you. Second, just because everybody can have a mic doesn't mean everybody needs a mic.
Jeez,
I don't know what kind of word lassoing Rich Paul was doing, but the whole cherry scheme, and it seemed like he had jumped into a pool, didn't realize that he couldn't swim when he was trying to figure that out. And he was like, you can't do apples to apples. And then we're talking cherries, and I'm gonna keep it with the cherry picking and cherry clan, and I'm gonna get you a fruit basket.
Chris, are you saying he don't need a podcast?
He don't need a microphone at all. He don't need nothing. Man don't need nothing. It's like a battle rap scheme that didn't hit.
It's a rap for your round and a rap for your round.
Rap round and round, rapping around and rap round. But what David Falk said was, was it false? If Jordan did have
I think he would have more rings if of course, like Jay said, 15 is crazy, but yeah, he definitely would have more rings.
If he got 6 the way he did in real life, and if he was able to be like, oh, well, you know what, this young fella Shaq coming in, let me get him. Or
but Chris, let me go
get Charles and let me go get and Sean Kemp. Let me go get them too.
But look, it was a very real practical avenue to him getting another 2 or 3 rings, and he just would have followed Phil to LA. Like he retired, Phil retired, Pippen went to Houston, and then the next season after that, Phil Jackson came back, coached the Lakers, Shaq, Kobe, and then Phil Jackson wanted to teach the triangle offense, so he went and started looking for people that already played in the triangle. He tried to get Pippen, but Pippen went to Portland. He went and got Ron Harper. I think he went and got Horace Grant. He at some point he went and got Dennis Rodman, but he didn't last long. And the conversation was had for Jordan to come back. And what the article says is that Jordan denied that by saying, I don't want to stunt Kobe's growth.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it.
So he didn't do it. So he could have came back and rode that 3-peat with the Lakers and he would have 9 rings. That's what cherry picking does.
Jeez.
I think it's really interesting, though, something that Chris said earlier. And, you know, when you think about it, right, to me, Rich Paul is Diddy and LeBron's Biggie. Like,
Yeah, pretty much.
you know, he's in, you know, like he is the producer that won't stay in the background. You know, he's all in the video, dancing all in the video.
That's what I
Can't
thought.
stop, won't stop.
And he just won't stop. Can't stop.
You do not want to be compared to Diddy in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
I mean, LeBron James said it ain't no party. I mean, he's the one that said it. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense with just when you see it, because Chris said, hey, like, you know, we've never seen an agent this vocal. We've never seen agents be vocal like that. And, you know, in all fairness to Rich Paul, you do have, and maybe it's because of Rich Paul, but you do have Rich Kleiman coming out. He did recently an interview with Spike Lee for the Boardroom. And that's obviously Kevin Durant's company. But I just think that they are beginning to have more of a voice in this modern day NBA. But it would be better if they were not bringing these issues public, whether we're talking about trades, whether just all the dirty laundry. David Falk said that needs to be kept private. And that's what they're doing wrong these days. David Falk said he dropped a lot of gems today.
And another thing, like, so what David Falk said, you know what he said, right? But only a hit dog gonna holler, right? So why do you feel the need that you just gotta go jump at every sign of distress or anything that just makes it look Rich? Why you 24 less than 24 hours? That's a little crazy. I mean, if LeBron didn't cherry pick his legacy, why you fighting so hard?
Yeah, he ain't talking to you then.
Why you fighting so hard?
I mean, if we have that do we have the reply, Mel? Because David Falk's reply to Rich Paul, literally, he just cooked the hell out of him. He cooked him.
No, I don't have the reply. But I do got Will Bourne's reply to it, because how this went is after that happened, Stephen A. Smith was having a conversation with Windhorse and Jay Will or something like that. And Stephen A. Smith went in, you know, him and LeBron hate each other so much, he can't help but to hold some stuff back. And he still has to make sure he says, LeBron is my number 2, because he's going too hard on LeBron. So he has to hold that LeBron is his number 2. And Kendrick Perkins has to hold that LeBron is his GOAT, because he said it years ago, but I don't think Kendrick Perkins really believes that. But he has to hold on to it so he won't be like a flip-flopper.
It's not just the flip-flopping. It's not just the flip-flopping, Mel, because Stephen A., he's getting away from the number 2. He recently just said he's either number 2 or number 3. Like he's going down again. So he's going down and down.
The reason why he did that, because somebody that's older than him that he respects, and Will Bourne, really, really said something that he had to kind of bow down to. Right. And
Wilborn went off this morning.
And he went off more than once. He was on 2 different. He was on First Take. He was on Green's show. Yeah, but I play for what I got. Yeah, all of that.
This is who David Falk is. He's a provocateur on his best day. You know, okay, he's Michael Jordan's longtime agent. He is that. I'm a neighbor of David Falk and have known him for 45 years. Okay. I've had millions of basketball-related conversations with David Falk. No one should be surprised that David stop. Just get out of the sports talking about business and go to something else. Now, I hate the conversation because
hold on, Mel.
Requires you to say something negative about someone who's the most tiresome thing about the GOAT conversation. Let me just say this. I'm not going to sit here and say that LeBron James has to be considered better than Magic Johnson. That's garbage. I'm not going to say LeBron James has to be.
You seem to be experiencing some technical difficulties.
Mel kind of looks like that Jesse Smollett.
What?
You know, with the faded
the LeBron James flag for his greatness, but if I say he's less than number 2, that's not good enough for you, to hell with you. And I'm not saying that as in support of David Falk. I'm saying that as somebody who has watched basketball and lived with basketball my whole life. I got to say that LeBron James is better than Kobe Bryant. What? Put me in a grave first.
All right, I'm having some internet issues right here, so y'all take over. I hope y'all was able to hear that, but go ahead.
Nah, we only pretty much heard the last part where he said, "Put me in the grave first."
That's pretty much all he said. In other words, he said that
he was saying that LeBron James, it's okay if we don't think that LeBron James is better than Magic Johnson. Like,
yeah, he can't.
Yeah, he said Magic. He said He said Kareem. He said Kobe. So he was saying he was saying necessarily you don't have to say that he's better than them. To still appreciate that he's one of the best people to ever play basketball. He's an all-time great, and I think that's where I get kind of like when people try to act like he's not an all-time great. He's one of the 10 best players, 10, 15 best players to ever play the game, whether you like him or not. And there's other people on that list that I absolutely don't like as well. But skills is skills.
LeBron James isn't better than David Robinson, so I'm fine with that.
As an Admiral fan, I would disagree.
That's okay.
I've never seen a game that I like more than David Robinson's game. I've never seen a game I like more. But I would say that LeBron was better than the Admiral.
It's okay.
Better basketball player, better. Okay, let's just start. Better basketball player.
Tim Duncan. He's not better than Kevin Garnett. There's a few
conversation. Was that 2 weeks ago? We had this conversation. Like, is Tim Duncan better than LeBron James?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes. Excuse me.
Tim Duncan is better than LeBron James. Jay disagrees.
So first of all, if I had to rank Tim Duncan, David Robinson, and LeBron James, it would be LeBron 50-21. Like I think that pure skill set, David Robinson was a better player than Tim Duncan.
Okay.
Pure skill set.
Okay.
I think when you add the accolades and everything in it, that's why that list is that order. Because you can't separate player versus player and accolades. So with accolades, it goes LeBron by far, Tim real close to that, and David Robinson pulling up the third. When you add the accolades in there, but skill set, that's just where I'm at with it. And
David Robinson has 2 legit titles. LeBron has 0.
0?
I give him 1. I give him Cleveland.
Can't say 0.
I can, because he put that team together. David Robinson didn't do that for himself.
Got
Sorry.
it. You're saying
however.
LeBron James is not
having an all-world center who backs goes out.
Robinson could handle the ball better than LeBron James. He could shoot the ball better than LeBron. He could do everything better than LeBron James. I'm sorry, he is better than LeBron James.
So what I'm saying, what you're saying that David Robinson didn't put the team together. He didn't put the team together, but having that injury and then falling down to number. Go ahead.
He didn't have to leave his team to learn from another big homie how to win. He didn't have to do that. LeBron James had to leave his team multiple times to win, still to fall short of the elusive 6 rings that he was chasing after. But
what David Robinson did do, he literally, his back literally gave out from having the Spurs on his back for 10 years. And then they got the number 1 pick, who happened to be another all-world center. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying, because guess what? LeBron James would have traded that number 1 pick away for a Michael Jordan if he could. He would have traded that number 1 pick away and not have developed that person, not have played with that person, not have appreciated the gift that he had in a number 1 player, not have ruined the league by trading away number 1 picks to different teams. Like, I'm sorry, but no. He's still not better than David Robinson.
No, listen. I'm a David Robinson fan, and I think his greatness is underappreciated. I think he was better than Hakeem. This is my guy. This is my guy. However,
Clutch Sports are your guys. Can we be for
right.
real?
I can't even name 3 people in Clutch Sports. I can name 2.
You're number 1 and 2. You're number 1 and 2.
Nah.
You're you know LeBron, you know Rich Paul.
So the thing is, like, again, I'm not gonna sit by idly and let people say that the dude isn't an all-time great because he's an all-time great. He is.
I didn't say he wasn't an all-time great. He's just an all-time great in this era. He is an all-time great from 2003 to now. He is not comparable to anybody who played before that time. It was a different league, and we have to stop doing that. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Can I butt in real quick?
Yeah,
so I was having technical difficulties, so I don't know. Was y'all able to hear the clip?
I just heard I think we
got the consensus of what he was saying.
Yes, the consensus of it is that Michael Wilbon is saying that how dare we say that LeBron James must be better than all these other all-time greats. Like, we don't have to say that he's better than Magic Johnson and other players.
Right.
Okay. All right. Cool. And now, hold on. What are we talking about now? What I missed?
No, she said that LeBron is better than David. That David Robinson is better than LeBron, and I disagreed.
You disagreed? Oh, that David is better than LeBron?
Yeah, I disagreed.
That's tough. Oh, you think David is better than LeBron, Don?
I do. I think he's a better shooter. I think he's a better ball handler, which I've seen. I think that he is better at everything. And I think he didn't have to leave his team to learn how to win. He didn't trade away the number 1 pick to win a title, to try to grab a Michael Jordan to come and play alongside him. I mean, he's better than LeBron James. As a player, from a skill set perspective.
Is y'all disagreement based on miscommunication because one of y'all is saying better but thinking greater? Because if we got a greatness list, LeBron is for sure higher than David Robinson on the greatness list.
Yes,
I said it already. LeBron is definitely greater.
I'm saying that as a basketball player, David Robinson is better than LeBron James all around.
I disagree.
That's fine.
I disagree. And I disagree while stating I have never seen anybody's game that I loved more than David Robinson. There's not a game that exists. Michael Jordan, Penny Hardaway, Shaq. There's not a game that I admire more than David Robinson's skill set.
So then let me ask you then, what does David Robinson do well? So you love his game. That's your favorite player. So what does he do really well?
He's a quintessential big man. Anything that you need, he can play high post, low post, pass in the post, get out the post, move. He can stretch the defense. He can get to the cup with ease, and he can hit free throws when you foul him. And he can hit an extended jump shot.
So he can shoot. He can shoot the ball. He can dribble the ball. What else? You said that he knows how to play his position, right? So what does LeBron James do well?
Be LeBron. He's really well at being himself. Okay. He can do it all. For me, I would like LeBron's game more. Hold on, because this is something that I've said before, and I've said it for the last 5 years. LeBron needs to come off the ball and play at this point in his career. He needs to play the 4.
We're not asking what he needs to do. What does he do well? What has he done well in his career? What does he do well now? Don't tell me what he needs to do.
Score, win, pass.
Score, win, and pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that check is in the mail.
He's done all of those well.
That check is in the mail.
Yeah, I guess.
Is Rich Paul going to be reaching out to you, Jay?
So it's funny. It's funny because you described.
Is it wrong though? Is it wrong?
Yes, it is. Because how does he score? What does he do well in scoring of the ball? You described.
He puts the ball inside that orange circle a whole lot of times, which generates a lot of points. He averages about 27.
Okay, Torian Prince.
Rebound. Yeah. I got that reference.
Grab the ball. Rebound it. That's how the other team got more rebounds. Mm-hmm. I got it. We got it, Jay. Thank you. Case closed.
Sure, absolutely.
Case dismissed.
I think it's close, man. But it's hard to say that David is better or greater than LeBron. But I do think that David probably mastered more of the game than LeBron, possibly. But David was
even greater. Look at the greatness.
But David was not flawed. He was a limited player as well. Like when you look at all the centers, as far as skill set and talent, Hakeem Olajuwon was a far more skilled and talented player than David Robinson. It was levels to it. Now David Robinson was a freak athlete. Yeah,
Jay.
But that's how great the players back then were. That David Robinson did not even compare to Hakeem Olajuwon. But again,
but I'm with you, Dom, that the era is stronger then. So there are going to be a lot of players that people think are better in this era than the previous era, but it's really not. I just don't think David Robinson and LeBron is one of those good examples. That now there's a lot of people in that era that trump a lot of people in this era, but those two, I think that's not the. I wouldn't say David was better than LeBron.
I don't think that LeBron would have been able to handle David Robinson, and I think that David Robinson would have been able to guard him back then. So if you put those two players, and again, when you talk about greatness, I again go to a place where I think David Robinson is greater than LeBron. His 2 rings did not come from team hopping, trading away players.
Those are Tim Duncan's 2. Those are Tim Duncan's rings, not David Robinson. David Robinson ain't do squat.
They might not have been.
No. The first ring, David Robinson did a lot. The second ring,
those were Tim Duncan's rings.
The second ring was really.
Are we forgetting Tim Duncan was first team all defense that year, and that was his team as a rookie.
So he did a lot, but again,
listen.
If LeBron was on that team, Tim Duncan wouldn't have been there. Tim Duncan wouldn't have 2 rings if LeBron was on that team, because Tim Duncan wouldn't have made it to the Spurs.
Yeah, but hold on. But listen. I think the correct player to really say is definitively better. David is better than is Giannis. I think Tim Duncan is better than Giannis. I think Tim Duncan is better than Jokic. I think not Tim Duncan. I think David Robinson is better than Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid. I don't think that stretches to LeBron. I don't think David Robinson. I think Hakeem. If you had a conversation about Hakeem being better than LeBron, I would be with you.
You just made my point, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you for that, Mel, because LeBron James is a power forward. He's not a guard. We have to stop this. His comparable, he should be compared to those players, power forwards. He is not a guard. He can't shoot the ball. He can't dribble the ball.
Fair.
He's not a guard.
Fair. That's fair. But he's better than Duncan. He's not better than Hakeem. He's not better. I mean, he's not better than Duncan or Hakeem, but he's better than David Robinson.
I mean, Mel, you can be the final say. But
I'm not trying to be the final say. I was just trying to join in the convo. I'm not trying to be the final say.
He's lacking in too many fundamentals, and I think anybody that knows how to play their position and master their position can beat LeBron. That's just what I believe, and that's why I think that he's a better player. I think Kevin Garnett is a better player than LeBron. I think Paul Pierce is a better player than LeBron. When
Paul Pierce,
I got it.
Able to your position.
Paul
when you're
Pierce.
I gotta jump in on that one.
The way that I heard, the way that I remember in watching them play, I mean, I remember Paul Pierce shouting at LeBron, and just saying things like, "You know what? You're going to miss this free throw anyway." And he sure did, bricks on bricks.
Mm-hmm.
So
listen,
I mean, it's a lot of truth to that.
Paul Pierce is disrespectful.
There's just so many skill sets, and there's so many skill sets in sports, right? There's physical fitness, there's athleticism, there's skills, right? There's also mental fitness. And LeBron James loses to so many people in so many of those different categories. So, case closed.
I don't think Paul Pierce is one of them.
I do.
Paul Pierce don't think Paul Pierce is one of them.
No, Paul Pierce might think Paul Pierce one of them.
The truth is the truth.
Oh yeah, because Paul Pierce was saying he was better than Wade. I remember that. Paul Pierce, they cooked the shit out of Paul.
Was it Jalen Rose who did that?
Yes,
somebody.
Yes, it was.
Now, I was with you when you said KG. I can let that right. There's a conversation. I can't let you get Paul Pierce up. I
watched those series. When it comes to mental fitness, Paul Pierce is better than him. I trust Paul Pierce with the ball in a late game situation, not LeBron James. Period. If I have to give the ball to somebody to shoot and score, my life was dependent upon it, I'm giving it to my dog, not LeBron James.
Yeah, but that can be true without
that man did something to you. That man did something to that lady.
No, we ain't gotta go there. We ain't gotta go there. We can move on to the next topic. But listen, all Dominique, when you make a claim, sometimes the claim, if people disagree with it, it is what it is. But then after that claim, you say a bunch of true stuff, and we can't deny that the stuff that you're saying is true, but then it don't connect to the claim. Like, yes, I do trust Paul Pierce late in games more than I trust LeBron. Does that make him better than LeBron? It doesn't.
To me, it does. To you, it doesn't, and that's
okay. Yeah, I mean,
where we fall different. That's all.
If they were equal players, and the only difference was one can be trusted at the end and one can't, then yeah, that'll make you better. But they're not even equal to begin with. Like, Paul Pierce is better skilled. He can shoot better. I mean, it's a lot of things that LeBron has as just natural gifts that just put him above Paul Pierce. But it's gonna be hard to make up that gap. Like Paul Pierce got more skill, but the gap that God gave LeBron as far as his athletics and his physique and his speed and all that stuff, all those attributes that he had, that created a huge gap between them as athletes. Mm-hmm. And even if Paul Pierce is mentally tougher and more clutch and all this stuff and shoot better, he don't close that gap. And it means that one player actually worked on his game more and got more skill set, and he's still not better than this guy because of what God gave him.
If it just is what it is. God gave him and all of that athleticism in a way that I thought was more impressive than Paul Pierce's skill set, then I would be able to say he's a better player.
Me
all
too.
He's doing is rushing lane.
Trust me, I would love to say that. You know, I love to poke holes in LeBron James, but I mean, I got to be honest too. Like, I would love to say Paul Pierce is better. He's just not, though. And I don't even think Paul Pierce would even admit it. Well, hey, once a man say somebody better than me, then I never say you better than him. And Paul Pierce has said that LeBron is the freaking GOAT. So I'm never gonna put Paul Pierce above LeBron. Like, you got to believe it yourself before I believe it.
I mean, Dwayne Wade gave LeBron James the keys to the castle, and he didn't deserve them. So, you know, there's we all make our decisions.
There you go. I mean, it is. We got super chats that came in on Sports T's channel. If you want to read them, Don. I think this one is from Sports T.
Hi, it's not that serious. Salute to you for the $20 super chat. When a person insults people because of a basketball take, exclamation. They're an idiot in chat and in life. A person should never get that emotional about other people's opinions, coupled with the fact you chose to watch the content.
And I think this one is Man Down Sports 5 years from now. Thanks, Taco Mouse. 5 years from now, MF is going to be defending Luka like he's LeBron. He's not a loser. Remember that time he got to the finals, of course.
There's 5 years from now. They say that now.
What was Falk's response to Rich Paul? We'll probably get into that on another one. I think this will be the only topic we'll open the phone lines up for y'all. Well, let's take 2 phone calls and then we'll move. We'll go try to get this one done early so we can finish watching the second half of the game.
Ain't happening.
Oh no. These gonna be quick calls. Trust me. These phone calls are 30 seconds and 45 seconds if it's really good. You won't get no more than a minute. I promise you that. So you can call in.
You see how the time kept increasing?
That's not how
30 seconds. 45 seconds.
That is not. That is not how math works.
Now 2 minutes, you might be pushing it.
All right, caller. What's good?
Yes, I can.
All right, can y'all hear the caller?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, go ahead, man. You got 45 seconds.
All right, man. Look, bro, with this whole Rich Paul, David Falk thing, Rich Paul is like the kid in your class who, when he get in trouble, he got to point his finger at everyone. But he did this, he did that. And that's what he pretty much doing with this David Falk thing. We talking about, hey, man, LeBron James, it's what's it called? It's documented. He's going to come recruit players. So, man, you want to talk about things we're not even asking about, man. Like, we didn't ask about him recruiting players from ACC schools. But, I mean, if you want to talk about that, cool, but that's not the argument. And man, this is what they do. Isaiah Thomas said, "Hey, LeBron, put a shirt on." Man, LeBron, no, man, Isaiah, you choked your coach. Like, come on, dude. Like, it's sad. It's sickening at this point, man. Like, I understand, Rich Paul, you was selling jerseys in the airport, and without him, you're probably a used car salesman trying to put dude. I can see it right now, man. Rich Paul in Cleveland, Ohio, trying to get you to pay on a 2012 Charger, 8,500, 850 car note, man. For real, dog.
All right, man. Thanks for the call, bro.
Hey, man, y'all folks be good, man.
All right, no doubt.
Sure.
All right, let's get one more. I told you 1 minute, man. I told you, man.
That was good, man.
Chris is
we're gonna take one more.
I thought it was 30 seconds. I thought it was 45.
Y'all play too much.
I know there's one caller.
All right, caller, go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Man, hell no, man. I don't give a damn. 30 seconds, 45 seconds, I'm calling, bro. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Hell no, bro. Hell no. I can't let y'all get this. Y'all going too goddamn far now, bro. Y'all going too goddamn far, bro. I ain't laughing, bro. Y'all going way too goddamn far now, bro. Like, come on, man. Stop this, man. Stop this, man.
Wait, hold on. First of all, what we going too far on?
Yeah.
Hey, man, hey, Zoe, Chris, Miss T, come on, man. Like, I thought we was making progress, man, me and y'all, man. Like, y'all sending me back too.
Where do we go too far at, young?
You gotta talk to Dominique on that. Dominique the one put.
Come on, man, y'all stop this, man.
Dominique the one who put every player in the 90s over LeBron. I didn't do that.
Come on, man, y'all stop this, man.
Hold on, which one you gotta talk
Hey, hold on, let me make one point.
I
Notice he didn't say me because he know I wasn't a part of that. Notice he didn't say Jay.
I put Baby above LeBron.
I rebutted against Paul Pierce, young. So hey, hold on, wait. I couldn't let her get the Paul Pierce one off.
Hey, come on, Chris, bro. Hey, bro, you think you being slick? You can't let her get the Paul Pierce one off, but you can let her get the rest of them off. Man, bro, ain't none of ain't none of them. Bro.
It was just KG.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
It was just KG and Paul Pierce. I said a conversation could be had about KG, but I'm not letting the Paul Pierce one go. I'm not.
A conversation can't be had about nobody who said that LeBron is the GOAT. KG said LeBron is the GOAT. You are disqualified. I would not listen. I'm a gentleman. I'm not going to go against your wishes. If you wish for LeBron to be over you, then I'm going to put LeBron over you.
I'm saying, bro. I'm saying, like,
I just can't believe you just blamed me. That's crazy. You guys are ducking the smoke from Young Disciple. I just wanted to stop you real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4 grown men just duck the smoke from Young Disciple.
You want me to take your smoke for you? It's not my take. It's not my take.
Poor guys, like, you guys are big. You all over 6 feet except Mel. He's the only one Tom Cruise height here.
Chris is not over 6 feet either, by the way.
Duck the smoke.
No, I gotta get remeasured, Jay, because according to Mel, he's 5'10". I'm telling you,
Dominique,
Mel ain't been 5'10" a day in his life.
Don't light no cigars if you don't want smoke, Dominique.
I'm just saying.
Now, if I gotta smoke it for you, I will smoke it for you. You just gotta ask.
I never smoke it. Hold on, let us smoke it.
You got 30 seconds. Finish your thought.
Okay, bro, I ain't even saying it. I'm just telling y'all to stop it. Like, bro, I want two quick things, bro. Man, y'all, bro, why are y'all calling free agency cherry picking? Like, I just want y'all to think about this, bro. Y'all saying LeBron pick his teams, right? Ain't that what every motherfucker do, nigga, doing free agency?
It's not about picking your teams and going in free agents. It's about how you are doing it. Like you're not going.
How's he doing it?
This is how he's doing it. He's going.
Okay.
All right, so his first free agency. Let me call D Wade. Let me call Bosh. Let us plan to work together and team up. And those are guys you're supposed to be competing against. So the Miami.
But why you say he called D Wade?
Because
though,
that's what they said.
D Wade said he called him. No, bro. D Wade said he called him.
It don't matter who called who. It don't matter who called who. If your girl got called by a dude and he beat cheeks that night, are you gonna get mad at him for calling her and say she's innocent? No. She accepted the call. They had the conversation and they did the do.
But I'm saying, bro, it's we all know that Kobe
Other people made calls.
Wait, hold on.
Bro.
Let me ask you a question before you start deflecting.
No, yeah, you just did a.
Wait, hold on. Let me.
I'm just saying, what's wrong with it if everybody did?
I'm trying to answer your question. If you stop deflecting.
Rich Paul. You just did Rich Paul.
Okay. Well, let me answer it. I answer that one first, and then get back to your original question. The reason why it's something wrong with it is because you're being compared to a guy who didn't do it, which is Michael Jordan. There's no point in bringing nobody else in it. We're talking about Jordan. He didn't do it. Hold on. Wait,
man. You got grown men.
You got to accept that answer and let it marinate. At least think about it for a minute before you say something, because you don't have the response. Wait, but listen, let me finish this. So your original question was, why was it bad if it was free agency? I told you why the Miami was bad.
I said cherry picking.
It is cherry picking.
I'm saying, why is it called cherry picking?
Because you're cherry picking your teammates to come with you. Hey, let's go.
What do you mean by that?
Hey, superstar number 1 in Miami. I'm coming over there. Let's go get another superstar from Toronto, and we'll come together. And hey, it's 3 superstars, and we all supposed to be competing against each other. We always in the same.
Why you saying they supposed to be competing, bro? D Wade, hold on, bro. Let me say one thing real quick, bro. 5 years for the 5 years after D Wade won a championship, bro. He was in the lottery, bro. They won 16 games 1 year.
Then
like,
why? Then LeBron should have had no problem beating them then. And while he was in Cleveland, he should. If D Wade was that down on his luck,
he never played D Wade, bro.
Well, he shouldn't have had no problem beating D Wade. There's no point in joining him then. If D Wade was down bad like that, leave him alone. Let that man rock when he was right.
Mel, why did they join each other, Mel?
Because they needed 3 superstars to get rings, because they couldn't get none.
No, bro, it's because of Boston, bro. Like I don't see why, bro. I don't understand why y'all ignore that, bro.
Okay, let's deal with it. Because Boston had a good team, and LeBron couldn't get by them. Toronto couldn't get by them, and Miami couldn't get by them. So they all.
I like how you saying it.
Hold on. So
what you saying?
So you saying they all joined to beat Boston. Now, let me give you an example of the guy they want to be compared to, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan couldn't get past Detroit or Boston either. He never called Olajuwon and Charles Barkley to join up with them and say, let's beat Boston and Detroit. No, he kept saying, I'm gonna keep fighting.
He never beat Boston.
Listen, you gotta let me answer this question. He said, I'm gonna keep getting better, and my teammates are gonna keep getting better, and we're gonna keep trying to beat them. And every time they beat us, we're gonna come back the next year and keep doing it. That's more respectable.
But what are you talking about right now, bro?
LeBron never got over the hump. LeBron never got over the hump.
Bro, Jordan, listen, bro.
I'm about to bid you a good night. You already over. You at 6 minutes.
Bro, let me say one thing, bro.
Because if you
say one thing, bro.
No, because if you say something and I respond to it, or you ask a question and I try to answer it, you're going to interrupt.
No, bro. I'm gonna ask you the question and then I'm gonna hang up the phone and I'm gonna listen to the rest on the what's
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna let the panel answer.
This for all y'all. This is for all y'all. What I'm saying is that don't y'all you can do the research yourself, bro. Jordan went to Jerry Krause, bro, and tried to give him who to pick and all that. It's just the GM didn't listen to him, bro. I'm saying why are y'all penalizing LeBron for his influence?
All right.
Hey, that's the only question.
All right, thank you.
Y'all got
another one?
Y'all got the post game? No, I'm saying y'all got the post game.
Yeah, we got a post game tonight, bro.
Okay, that's all I need to know. I think I'm gonna take care of your ass down, nigga.
I can't wait for you to get him. Hell yeah! Shout out to Young.
Who gonna answer the question?
I don't even know what the question was. What was the question again?
He said Jordan did go to the GM. They just didn't listen to him. So why we penalizing LeBron?
I'm gonna go ahead and say this, Young. That's the second time you pulled a Rich Paul. You started pointing the finger at somebody else because of what LeBron James did. That's the second time you done did that. So I mean, you deflected.
I feel like Young Disciple called in and you guys deflected to me. Dry snitched and all that. So just
why you saying
I'm just saying.
Young. Can you hear us, Mel?
Dominique, man, stop that. That don't even make sense, Dominique.
It does to me.
Barely. I'm trying to get my stuff together.
And it would.
Mel's legally blind today.
Of course it does to you, Dom.
He do look like
Oh my God, this man is so far behind.
That's what I'm looking at. I can't even answer the question. I was trying to figure out what's going
so
on.
far behind.
I heard his voice and I'm like, his lips.
He's answering sentences like from 30 seconds ago.
I heard his voice and his lips didn't move. But I don't know. I don't know that to be true that Jordan went to Jerry Krause and was trying to recruit specific players. Regardless of what it didn't happen, what did happen is that his team got better, and they eventually were better than everybody from that same team that he was drafted to. So I mean, I don't understand how people don't think that path is the path of most resistance. Like you took the easy way out.
But how do people not see the path of picking your own teams and still losing more as not being even worse? So you picked your teams and you still couldn't win more. You picked your coach, you picked your team, you picked your teammates. Why? Where's the wins?
Well, he better at picking teams than Jordan.
Apparently not.
Team stuff.
We seen Jordan in Charlotte. And that shit was hard.
LeBron.
He got Melo. He did get LaMelo.
And surrounded them with
I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan can look at the All-Star team and figure out which player he won't. That's different than drafting a guy who hasn't proven himself in the league. So drafting Kwame Brown and then looking at the All-Star team and saying, I want Wade and Bosh is totally different.
Totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah. You want to know what's so funny?
I want a guy he's already showed that he's an All-Star.
But
that's
it's
the
funny
same thing.
That you, Jay, since you work for Clutch Sports, you go to the regular like LaBarbie narrative of Jordan was a bad owner, blah, blah, blah. But it's funny because he was the first majority Black owner of any team in the NBA. You would think that that's something that they'd be celebrating instead of using those narratives. He's a horrible owner, horrible this, but then he comes out and he's saying, oh, well, how could they criticize me? I'm this Black agent that's done so much for the league, blah, blah, blah. So it's just, you get what I'm saying?
I hear you. That black shit don't work. That black shit don't work for me. And he was the second majority Black owner. Bob Johnson was first.
He was the first majority Black owner that was a player. So excuse me.
There you go. Yep. That's cool. I mean,
all right.
That was cool for the culture, but that motherfucker surrounded that whole team with trash, and it's still trash.
No.
and Melvin picked them to go to the playoffs every year, and that shit never happens.
Please list $5 super chat from John Wayne. Appreciate it. Please list all of the physical attributes, physical and skill, that make LeBron better than the average NBA player. Lord have mercy, boy. Y'all
I'm waiting. I love John Wayne. Thank you, John Wayne.
Boy. Lord have mercy.
Meat size.
Have Young answer my question. You got to go to Jerry Jones for that. This is way more than 45 seconds. You're right. Thanks for the super chat. Ain't nobody did ish like LeBron. There we go. All right. Let's move.
Take that number down. You'll get
take that number down.
Hey, we did have another call, but my internet was acting up so bad. Dang, I thought I just took it down. All right. Man, that was fun. Y'all funny. All right, so look, SGA just got announced that he was the officially the MVP of the 2025 season. He got the award yesterday. He accepted it in front of his home crowd, and then went out and blowed out Minnesota and performed very well, 38 points, man. So he was out there killing. So here's the question, though. He's already won a scoring title. He's already led the best team in the league to the best record. He's already led them to the top-rated defense. He just won league MVP. So he's got the opportunity to get the scoring title, the league MVP, the Western Conference MVP, win the finals, and get finals MVP. If he take home all those accolades and those awards coming into next season, do you think people are going to be more comfortable to say that he's the best player in the world, or is it still going to be Jokic, in y'all opinion?
There's still going to be a fight, but people should be comfortable saying he's the best player in the world right now.
Facts. Ain't nobody messing with Shea. If he does all of that, then he leaves them no choice. You get what I'm saying? Like, what can you say to somebody who went on a run like that? He leaves them no choice, but they have to. But they're still going to be detractors. They're still going to be crying and saying Jokic don't have help. But they'll bring up triple doubles as always. But yeah, Shea's that dude, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, y'all kill me with questions like this. Like this is when I get upset. This is when I get upset, right?
Good.
This man just asks, hey, listen, if somebody plays the best, shows they the best, the stats show they the best, the eye test show they the best, is they the best? No. You think people use logic? Fuck no. None of that shit don't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter.
It don't matter the people who like who they like. That shit don't matter. Of course he's the best player in the world right now.
They didn't want to give him MVP.
Heck, they didn't want to give him nothing. They was like, look, man, this is the first time I ever heard this. He only wins the scoring title because he's at the free throw line. Well, then they said, well, if you take away all his free throws and take away everybody else's free throws, he still win the scoring title. Then they was like, man, fuck that nigga. Like that, they ain't even have nothing else to say. No, listen, man.
Canada. He's from Canada. That nigga from Canada.
Yeah. He don't even speak American English. Like, that's the same English dude.
Yeah.
But not. So it don't matter, man. It don't matter. He's on a run, and if he sustains this for 2 years, if he sustains this for just 2 years, in my mind, he already passes Giannis and that level of player. And Jokic is on that level of player too, by the way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Are you starting from this year, or are you including last year as well? Because last year,
no, 2 more years. So right now, he's moved into that category with them.
Yeah, that's true.
He's in that category with them. 2 more years. There's no question. If he's on this hell of a run for 2 more years, whether the team wins or not, there's no question he's the best player in the NBA right now. No question.
If they don't win, I feel like they need to win, because if they don't win,
no. All that, but what I'm saying is, but including this year and the next 2 years, all he needs is one. No one else has more than one that's in this conversation of who's the best player. So all he needs is one.
He got to get one, because then they'll always say that he fails to get to the finals, even though man, that dude's career has been amazing. I feel like I want him to win it this year, even though Ant is my guy. But Shea really has. He went to that team. I forget that Chris Paul was on that OKC team for a little while. It was, that's funny to me. Like, to watch that dude go from being traded as a lottery pick to being traded to going to a team that's super duper young, and watching him grow as a player, and then put the pieces around. Presty be dealing, but put the pieces around him to be able to do that. I want Shea to win it, and I don't want any reason. I want him to have a ring. If he didn't win MVP this year, then I probably was gonna come on here and curse some people out, do some real evil things to him, say some real mean things about their mama. So, like, because that's just ridiculous. I felt like he probably should have last year. He didn't. Whatever, I think that they'll still be detractors, just because there always are, just like Jay said. At the end of the day, Jokic got a cult-like stand base too. So when they I didn't know. We found out last year.
I misspoke too, by the way. I just called that man the best player in the world. He ain't LeBron, my bad.
Boy, stop.
Check just cleared. Cha-ching.
Now, Buddy can play, man. He can hoop, and everybody say all he is a foul merchant, man. You're not watching basketball. That man can play.
It's poetic. And watching last night, like the way he was doing, how he was manipulating.
I don't like his braids though. He
got everything in his bag. And it looks so like Ants had 31 last night too. So he had a much better game because he was being aggressive. It just
might be right down.
It just
I hate
looks
that too.
It just looks different.
Yeah,
I hate that too, because I don't want to see them. I don't like watching them, but they playing good ball.
Yeah, Chris Dom, is SGA the best player in the league now, or will it convince you that he is if he takes on all that hardware?
He was the best player in the league last year. And for me, it's just continued. It's best player in the league, continued. He's still currently, from last year, the best player in the league, currently still. That's my take about it. I just
you probably could have said that. You probably could have used better words. I don't know. That shit was confusing.
I don't think anybody can be considered the best player in the world if you're not good at playing both sides of the game of basketball.
Yeah,
you might be the best offensive player in the world. That could be a conversation.
Or the best statistical, best offensive, or best statistical offensive player.
You might be the best VORP player we've ever seen.
Vorping? Are we vorping tonight?
You might be the best VORP player we've ever seen, but I can't give somebody the title of best in the world or best in the league, and you're not the best at both sides. You're not even good at one side. Like you're a traffic cone. You get taken out for key possessions on defense. So like when the people say that Luke is the best player in the world, how? He gets taken out in clutch situations because he's a cone on defense. Jokic is a cone on defense. Matador
and
defense.
their team got to go to a zone to protect how bad they are on defense.
You got to get into a zone to hide how bad you are. That doesn't make you the best in the league or the best in the world. SGA
that man made zone a three compound word. That was that zone. He knew it was off too. That man just went ahead and said,
"You know what? Let me fix this."
But SGA is elite on offense, and I won't necessarily say elite on defense, but he's damn close. He's damn close.
Good on defense. Yeah,
good on defense.
I'll give him great. Elite and great are two different.
Where you got him? Where you got him ranked at right now?
You on mute,
Don? We can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I don't think that SGA is the best player in the league, but I do think he deserves MVP. I think he was deserving of it last year too. I think that we've seen plenty of times players that are MVP, they've been the most valuable player. They're not necessarily the best player that year, even though they won the MVP. I think
who do you think?
So I have Ant-Man ranked higher than SGA. I like his game more. What I think is that they're at two different points of development. So like in their career. So like SGA has developed further in his career. Again, I think he's very deserving of everything, all the accolades. Anyone that says that he's the best player in the league, I have no problem with it. I have no real issue with that. I don't have him as the best player in the league. To me, there's some things that I have issue with in his offensive game that other people don't. But I mean, it's really that push off to get to the mid-range. The mid-range shot is what he basically is very largely invested into. So if the league begins to call that offensive foul that he's pushing off when he does that mid-range push off, which honestly in this playoffs, I forgot who did this very same thing and got offensive foul. I think maybe it was the Knicks who did it. It might have been the Timberwolves on them. I forget the sequence, but I'm like, oh my God, they never call this for him, but they're calling it for everybody else. And so, I think if they begin to change that he's going to have to make an adjustment in his game. So I'm curious to see what that looks like for him, but I think he's very talented. I like his effort on defense. I love the way that he's not asking his team to do anything that he's unwilling to do. So I really respect him as a leader. For me, it was his MVP speech that honestly sort of just maybe like catapulted him for me in a different way as a leader. So as a leader, I think he's incredible. As a player, I think he's done like a lot to prove himself in this league, in the NBA. I personally did not like his appearance in FIBA. I thought he played like shit. And then, but I think that he's fantastic. And honestly, I teared up a bit even on my own show when I talked about his MVP speech. So I think he's fantastic.
To that push off though, so agreeing that he does push off is one thing. Agreeing that it's more acceptable than probably what you're saying, because you got a problem with it, because all the time, most of the time it's just a shield and not a push off, and most of the time it's I'm pushing a hand that's on me off, right? That's one thing. But I do want to point this out. I was watching for that push off last night in the game, and he got to his mid range in 10 different ways without a push off. One way he got into it was just a step back, right? One way he turned his back and got in the mid post on DiVincenzo and just did a turnaround bank shot. It's a lot of time. Other times when the contact come and he feels it with his shoulder, that's not really a push off to gain an advantage. That's part of me getting my balance on and using your body to get momentum going back for my step back jumper.
The man looks like Caitlin Clark.
He didn't extend his arm on a push off not once last night in the game, not one time. It was all shoulder bump and step back. It was all shoulder bump and step back.
I knew Mel was gonna defend that push off only because this motherfucker do that same exact. He does that same exact push off with his midi.
Small guards.
And when you call foul on Mel, he gonna be like, "Nah, your hand was on me."
It's not a push off. It's a technique to get me going to my step back. It's not a push off. That's why they're not calling it.
I see, and he literally. If it's a three-pointer, he does a push off. It literally looks like Caitlin Clark when she's pushing off girls to get to her spot that she wants. And okay, he might not do it 100% of the time. Maybe every game he's not relying.
Even 50%. Not even 25%.
That's what I see, and it's either subtle or it's a strong push off. So
if it's subtle, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it being subtle. Now, if the arm,
it's like a tick.
Yeah,
somebody has something that they always do, like LeBron James goes like this for everything. That's like when he's trying to hide on defense, or if he didn't get back on a play, they turn over the ball. He goes. It's like a nervous habit, and so I feel like
when players drive to the hole and they tell you to attack the shot blocker's chest before you get into your shot. Don't just go straight up on the shot blocker because he'll block it. You go into his chest. You go into his chest first, and then you get your shot off. Right? You go into the shot blocker's chest, get your shot off. It's the same thing. It's the same thing when you get into a mid range. If someone is going to be all over my person, all over my body with their hands, then me pushing off is just as fair as them putting their hands in the cookie jar and riding me all the way to till I get to my spot. It's just me creating separation. It's not me pushing you back.
I see him doing it all the time. So I see him with this arm extending and pushing out, and it literally looks like CC0.
He literally did it 0 times last night, though, like 0.
Okay, that's what you saw. That's what you're saying you saw. That's not what I saw, and I only watched to the third quarter.
When it comes to things like that, knowing that, my team is the Atlanta Hawks, and a lot of the times Trey used to do the in and out cross, and then when he gets the defender behind him, kind of stop and make him fall on top of him. And it was started to be called a lot more frequently. And then, but other players do the same thing. Everybody pushes off.
Trey Young had to adjust, and that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that SGA can't adjust his game and can't do something differently. I'm not saying he's not talented enough to do something differently. I'm just saying I'm wondering what it looks like if that should change.
If it changes.
Well, you seen it every game. He don't push off for his mid range every game. He step backs, he spins, he posts, he stop and pop. It's like literally he got to that mid range.
I'm curious.
Time last night with no push off. So there's no adjustment that need to be made. It's just, okay, if you're not on me, I'm not going to push off. I can get to that shot with no problem.
If you're not on me, I'm not going to push off. That sounds ridiculous. If you're not on me.
I might have didn't say it right, but the point is you're trying to make it seem like that the push off is the bread and butter of his game. And if they start calling it, he has to adjust his game. He don't have to adjust it.
No, I said what I said, which is that in his mid range, he's pushing off. So his mid range, I'm curious to see. And his mid range is the bread and butter of his game, but I'm curious to see what it's going to look like.
Yeah, but the push off is not though.
How he tries to the push off for his mid range shot is predicated.
Yeah, but how did you miss all the shots he took from the mid range last night with no push off?
I also saw him take shots from the 3-point line. So every game is not going to look the same. If you have to push every time to a certain team or a certain player, that's for the Timberwolves. Timberwolves, they should
push off. We're gonna watch film together.
I would love to do that.
We'll go watch film together.
I love film.
look, we all
and then we can, because we both still in Cali, and then I can take you to the gym and I'll show you how to get to that spot and rise up, and I'll show you it's not a push off.
See the game through a different lens, and that's okay.
Mel gonna push off. Understand that. Know that.
Small guards.
No Mel pushing off
to do that.
Skilled guards that know how to use the mid range.
Small guards that don't have the athleticism, that are not bigger than their defender. It's something. Look, I have a problem with it, and I said the very first thing I said is that most people don't, and I'm okay with it.
SGA 6 though. He really wouldn't be considered a small guard.
So the dude Ant Edwards, the one that shoots 10 to 15 threes a game, who getting his lunch absolutely ate by SGA, even when he guard him. I mean, he got his spot on on Edwards with no problem getting to the Baja. As a matter of fact, the head-to-head battles with Ant Edwards and SGA has all been won by SGA as far as what they bring to the table for their team. It's been going back and forth, but SGA is older. Like Edwards is only 23,
and that's to speak to what Dominique's point was. I do agree with her saying that they are different points of their development.
That's
Ant's
true.
22, 23 years old. And we know we know how Ant is. It's a lot of maturity that he still has, a lot of maturing he still has to do. SGA is a mature. Yeah, I don't. That might be an understatement, but SGA's like, I don't agree with a lot of the comments that of people saying SGA's game is boring. It is not. It is very entertaining.
It's beautiful.
I don't know. It's poetry, like Chris said. It has a poetic flow to it. He is always comfortable anywhere inside that 3-point line to do anything. And last night kind of showed it. So I just don't. I do think they at different points of their development. I do think Shea is the better player at this point. I don't know what Ants. I know Ants has a ton of potential, but I don't know what his ceiling is. It all depends on tendencies and gameplay and how he develops his skill set. But of course, he got the athleticism, and we think he got. I know he got the dog. It's just a matter to see over the next couple of years what his game develops to.
He got to change course because when he went to the Olympics and started shooting threes and working with KD and said he fell in love with the three, and he made an assertive effort to say I'm going to shoot more threes this season, and he did, and he made more threes than anybody in the league. For someone of his athletic type and his build and his leaping ability and his strength, he should not be letting people out the hook by shooting 10 threes a game. KD don't even shoot that many threes.
You are doing me a favor if you as uber athletic as he is and you shooting a jumper.
Right. And that's why Michael Jordan didn't shoot a lot. That's why Wade didn't shoot a lot. So Ant Edwards have to change course if he's going to reach the potential that SGA has reached, and if he's going to bypass SGA, because they both in the West and they go see each other a lot. If he wants to get to that level, he's got to change course and rethink how he wants to attack defenses, and the 3-point line is not gonna be it.
Yeah, it's not. And we saw the difference. Even though he still was 1 for 7 last night, he shouldn't have shot 7 threes. SGA might have took 2, and he's half of the athlete that Ant-Man is. Like, you have to continue. When Ant went to the cup, he was able to score some points. He was able to get fouled, even though early on he was kind of inefficient. But eventually it started to work, because he was scoring, and that's what his team needed, especially with Julius Randle being a complete opposite of what he was in game 1. They definitely needed him to score, but I was glad to see him being more aggressive. I was glad to see him working away somewhat of the 3-point shot. I was glad to see he took more than 13 damn shots too. Because they're not going to win any game that he's doing that. But yeah, man, he just has to. I do agree he has to change course. I think he has to refine that mid-post game. Like Shea, that turnaround jump shot off the glass last night, I was like, man, I don't know how many people. I don't know that skill work. You could tell he's been in the gym and he shot that shot before a bunch of times, and I just love seeing that. His game ain't boring. Skill.
His favorite player is Kobe, so he's studying Kobe.
I think my big.
Go ahead, Dominique.
Don't look the same when you go to FIBA. That's where I have a problem. So I don't. That's what I don't like. It's not just the push off. It's the performance in FIBA when you can't do the push off in FIBA, but you can do it in the NBA, and you don't look the same. So That's what I'm connecting to, that push off in the mid range when he couldn't do that.
You trying to connect anything to that push off because the push off don't really be there, right? So you trying to connect it. Now you talking about FIBA. Jamal Murray, look, who looked the same in FIBA? Jason Tatum didn't look the same.
I don't congratulate.
Anthony Edwards didn't look the same. Did Anthony Edwards look the same in FIBA? He looked like trash. Bam looked like trash. Steph Curry looked like trash in FIBA into the last 2 games. The only two people who look good in FIBA, the only 3 people that look good in FIBA was Jokic, LeBron, and Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry the last 2 games.
And so KD looks great.
They looked playing alongside LeBron James, which is something different from how they looked playing in FIBA.
It's FIBA. You said FIBA. They all didn't look good in FIBA.
So you're talking about Jamal Murray, and we're talking about
you can't say Ant Edwards is better than SGA because of a push off. I mean, you just can't say that. They don't have. I mean, that don't make sense, Dominique.
But I didn't say that. I didn't say he was better than SGA because of a push off.
Who the hell is SGA?
I just said why I didn't like SGA's offensive game as much as everybody else does. But I didn't say that Ant Edwards is better than SGA because of that. I think that he's a better player because he's more explosive. I think that I love the way that he is able to do a bunch of different things on the court, whether it's shooting, whether it's driving in the lane as well. SGA can do those things too, but I just think that Ant-Man is more explosive when he does it. So I enjoy watching better. I think he's better. I think he has a higher trajectory than SGA. And we're going to see, but again, they're in 2 different places in their development. Ant-Man has nowhere near the development that SGA has.
That's why I can't figure out how he's the better player. I mean, LeBron more explosive than SGA too.
I don't think that anybody would have traded Ant-Man from the Clippers if they had him. So, I mean, I'm just looking at what does that mean? What does that mean? I just think that Ant-Man has been a better player at his age than SGA was. So at 23, I think Ant-Man was better.
Curry was about to get traded at some point too. They just decided they decided to trade Monte Ellis because Curry ankles was so bad that they didn't want him. So I mean that point don't land like you think it land. Like, you know, they traded this dude at 19 for Paul George because Kawhi wanted Paul George there. Doc Rivers did not want to trade him. That means that OKC wanted this guy. And we talking about Sam Presti, a guy who knows talent, and said, no. If y'all want Paul George, give me that guy right there. And Doc was like, no, I don't want to do it. But Kawhi was like, I'm not coming unless Paul George comes. Yeah. So it's not like they was trading him because he showed up and was not good. Kentucky don't pick players that's not good. Calipari. So we talking about Calipari, the best recruiter out of high school, picking SGA up and him leaving after his freshman season, like Devin Booker did. And then we talk about Sam Presti, the best GM in the league, wanting him in a trade. That doesn't land negative for SGA.
I'm sorry, I don't think that Ant-Man was traded by Kawhi. I don't think he would have been able to. So
but that don't mean Ant-Man is better than SGA. SGA just won MVP. Ant-Man didn't.
He just won MVP, but he was also traded from his team, and that wouldn't have happened to Ant-Man if Kawhi wanted it.
That was 6 years ago.
Wouldn't have happened, but it wouldn't have happened to
Ant-Man. That was actually 7 years ago. So who's better now? Now who got the better upside in your opinion because of explosiveness? Who's better now? It's SGA. I mean, it's hands down.
I don't agree. I don't think his game is better than Ant-Man.
Yeah, and I'm okay with you not agreeing, but I'm just saying that the reasoning for it are not good reasons.
To you,
I mean, there's
explosiveness matters. I do.
There's a ruler that's actually live right now that has SGA up 2-0 over who you think is the best player in the league.
But it's not SGA.
And he's eating his lunch too.
It is SGA.
It's SGA. He's the only person on OKC. He's
only leading. He's leading that team.
He's the only person.
The person that you said was the best player in the league took 13 shots in game 1 of the Western Conference Finals.
He's the best player in the league. I think he's going to be the face of the league.
Ghana is different though.
That's two different things. That's two different things.
SGA is the face of the league now, and he should have been MVP last season. He's MVP this season, and he still won't be the face of the league this season, last season, tomorrow, or next season.
The face of the league and the best in the league are two different things.
Really? Are they?
Yes.
Okay.
LeBron was the face of the league. Hasn't been the best in the league in a long time.
That's because you think that Kevin Durant is better, but the masses didn't think that.
Did anybody hear me say Kevin Durant?
We don't have to hear you say it. We know you would say it. You have said it.
On the years that he was the best in the league.
You've said
Dom.
that Kevin Durant is better than LeBron, right?
Hey,
He's a better player.
If we go make it to the New York game, we got to move up. But yeah, I mean, it's a good conversation, Dom, man. But we just see it a little different. That's fine. That's cool.
Puts his dog on. Me too.
So, but look, y'all really go like this one then.
Oh, this gonna get good.
Hey, me and Dominique, for me and you, this could either be that me and you agree 100%, or we on the opposite on this. we about to find out though.
Real quick.
Super chat.
Ant is more entertaining to watch as a basketball player. Now that I won't argue. I mean, explosiveness.
I think that's.
Entertaining is tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky because like he's more explosive and fun to watch if that's what you're looking for. But if you're looking for poetry and motion, I get it. Different people search for different things. I prefer to watch Ant-Man's game.
You guys are on something.
I think basketball purists will appreciate Shay's game more than they appreciate Ant's.
I prefer Ant-Man's game to look at, to me personally.
If Ant-Man would utilize the mid-range, he could reach where SGA and probably surpass him because the explosiveness, Dom, and because the athleticism. He's supposed to be probably better than SGA. But if he got too much, I don't care right now. If he's not going to think the game and play it masterfully, then he's not going to surpass him. I mean, it's the same reason why Kobe was better than T-Mac. T-Mac had everything Kobe had, but even more athleticism and more size. He had everything. But Kobe was Kobe for a reason. You know what I mean? So, I mean, same thing with Vince Carter. Vince Carter was amazing athletic. He didn't touch Kobe as a player. You know, it's just, I guess it's just levels to it. But look, so this comment, not this comment, but I'm trying to get this off the screen.
This topic,
yeah. All right, so
83-83, top of the fourth quarter, 11 minutes to go in the game. Knicks and Pacers tied.
Okay, this will be the last topic. We're not gonna talk about the playoffs, y'all, because we gotta watch this fourth quarter. But US versus the world. So with SGA getting the MVP, the conversation was had on ESPN. I think it was First Take. Jay Will, Stephen A was there, Will Bond, and that was having a conversation saying that the reason why the MVPs can continue to be foreigners, I think the last seven would, Embiid 1, SGA 1, Jokic 3, so that's 5. Who else got it?
Giannis 2. So it's all been people that's not born on U.S. soil, right? So they're saying that that's an indication of how bad the U.S. basketball is, and they're putting it on the grassroots, AAU and high school, right? And Jay Will kind of explained it. I play what he said, but before I even play it, my thoughts on that is that it's not really on the grassroots, because what the grassroots is doing is what they think is going to help them get to the NBA. So if the NBA is rewarding not playing defense and rewarding shooting a lot of threes and rewarding the Lukas and the Jokic's and stuff like that, then that's what the daggone grassroots are going to do, right? So that's number one. Number two is, it's funny that y'all just say, oh, just because they was born in Canada or born in Cameroon, that mean that the U.S. is behind. But SGA played high school ball over here, and then SGA also played at Kentucky and learned from Rod Strickland, and then came to OKC and learned from came to LA and learned from Kawhi, and then went to OKC and learned from CP3. And then his biggest idol is Kobe, right? So he's copying Kobe game, and he's learning from all these American people. I just don't understand how they just equate everybody that's not born here to saying that we're failing as NBA basketball. But I'll play for what he said.
The run of international players just doesn't speak about how great international talent is. I think it speaks more about how comfortable and complacent American players have become. Think about that for a second. Think about AAU basketball. Think about all the things that we prioritize. Highlights, mixtapes, IG reels. We much rather show people all the trick shots than actually put the time in the gym. Now, I'm not saying that speaks for every American player, but as a whole, that's where the American society is at. I had a chance to be a producer on Giannis's marvelous journey. When you get a chance to see how some international players live, how damn hungry they are, how fundamentally sound they are. And also, European basketball, players here talk about like, oh, you have to go to European. You ever know how damn physical European basketball is? You hear some of these veterans, Isaiah Thomas, some of the greatest players to play our game, applaud the NBA for allowing the level of physicality to come back into basketball, which we've seen in the playoffs. Go over and watch European basketball. Go over and watch some of the traditionally historic teams play. You get a bow when you come down the lane. You get hit in the face. You get knocked down. Ain't no other teammate coming to help you. You get your own ass up. We have prioritized the showmanship of the game, Mike, and we have lost sight of what this game is about. Now, it just doesn't. There are players who are American players that play hard. I'm not saying that, but I do believe we focus on IG and other things instead of actually mastering the damn game. And all these dudes that we're seeing, they're mastering it.
G. Will.
So what's y'all thoughts, man? Does the MVP going to foreigners the last 7 years indicate that the USA is behind the power curve at how we're teaching at the grassroots? Or is it something else, or is it a combination of things? What's y'all thoughts? Dominique, you go first because you've been waiting to go last on every topic.
I think that it's a combination of things. NBA Europe is a real thing that Adam Silver has been working on for a long time. So I think highlighting foreign players is something that helps when they're ready to finally get that league going. They're supposed to be making some moves, I think, in the next year or two. So, I think 11 cities are going to be, 11 European countries are going to have the NBA. So more to come on that, right? But I think that there's also there's a level of the patients taking over the asylum. So, there was so much oppression in the league going all the way back to its inception, right? Where, literally the commissioner back in, I think it was the 50s or 60s, said that Black people couldn't be marketed. And, you see just like this evolution in the league, civil rights, Bill Russell era, all of those things. You see players continually just trying to, whether it was getting contracts out of high school, that you just see all these different things, right? You see players get different things throughout the years. They've had to go on strike to get better rights and better, deals, and to get paid what they feel that they deserve. So, and even still, if it was a free market, these players are probably still not paid what they should be, even though we see these abnormal contracts. So when you take a look at all of this money that they're making and how hard they used to have to work to get the dollars that they made back in the day, they're going to take almost like a welfare approach. Hey, we were oppressed back then, and now we're going to take the things that we couldn't before. And so that's just what I see, players that are trying to make the most for doing the least amount of work. And they're not setting up players in the future, for these big contracts as well, because they're not working hard. So, I fear that CBAs and all of these other things can
privilege.
I don't know that it's privilege. I think it's almost like reparations. You did all these horrible things to me, back then, and we're going to take what we're owed now. And to hell with, if the house has to burn on fire.
So you think the American players, all right. So I'm trying to see if I understand it. So the American players, let me ask this first. Do you think that's like majority of the American players, or is it majority of the key American players like Durant, LeBron, and all those guys? Or you think it's like?
I do think it's widespread, because you remember the comment that Durant said, all I want to do is buckets, girls, and play ball, buckets, and girls, or something like that. Something like that. He said that's all he cared about. He didn't care about winning titles. It was just about playing basketball, buckets, and girls, or something like that, he said. They don't even seem to have like an appreciation for the opportunities that they have in front of them. And just in my opinion, when you see Tyrese Halliburton talk about the game, he sounds really grateful. It's not every single person, so I don't want to put it on superstars, you know, but it's interesting because some of the players that have had the most privilege in their lives, they like Jalen Brunson, I don't think he takes a moment that he's on the floor for granted. So it's not every single person, you know. I just think it has
But
to
it's widespread enough, and it's enough of the other key guys that
yeah, like just get your money. And you remember, who did we have on the show? Your buddy, your childhood friend, Eric.
But how would that show up in the MVP? Because what they're saying is the MVPs, the reason why the MVPs keep going to the foreigners have like the Americans are doing something wrong.
Because the NBA can't invest in the American players because of the things that they're doing. So when you take a look at Ant-Man, he can't be like such a solid investment. And they've been doing this for years. What happened to Kobe in Colorado? He missed out on so many MVPs as a result of that, right? That tarnished his resume when, people hold things against him.
But listen, Jason Tatum is sitting right there in your face, and they keep denying Jason Tatum because the issue is like even you have American players that can be marketed and can be in the MVP race, but they'd rather have Luka in the MVP race than Jason Tatum, and it boils down to the NBA prioritizing things.
Well, what season would you have made Tatum the MVP?
He would have been in the race for me the last 3 seasons. He would have been top 3.
When would he have won for you?
He wouldn't have won. Because I think SGA, I would have voted for SGA last year. The year before last, I would have voted for Giannis. I mean, not Giannis, but Embiid. So I think Embiid was the correct vote. I think last year SGA was the correct vote, and I think this year SGA was the correct vote. However, I had Jason Tatum in my top 3 the entire season, all 3 of those seasons. And the NBA and the other voters had him like 5th or 6th. So what the message they're sending everybody is that even though Jason Tatum scores well, he leads the team, he rebounds, and he defends, and his team wins, we're not going to honor that because he's not doing points, rebounds, assists on a triple-double level, right?
Because that's what they're investing in. So the marketing is investing in points, rebounds, assists. When you go and look up a box score, that's the first thing you see. If you type in Knicks Pacers on Google right now, they're going to show us those stats. They don't show anything else. You have to go to, dig into that. So that's what the NBA is invested in. So if
I think that's the issue. They sent the wrong messaging out, Dom. And listen, if the most important thing to basketball is winning, right? So winning has to be part of every criteria. And then 50% of basketball is defense. So defense and offense have to be part of it, right? But what they're telling us is that winning is not as important as triple doubles, and neither is defense. Because if you're doing triple double work and you're not winning more than the other guys, and you're not defending, we're still going to consider you for first team All NBA and MVP over the guy that's doing the heavy work of winning more and playing defense while he's also scoring. So Tatum, I think that's the main issue. And then part of it, like you said, is a combination. I think just to hear somebody like Anthony Edwards not know his history and say there was no good players other than MJ in the 90s. And I don't want to be the face of the league because all this, and LeBron saying who wants to be the face of the league. I don't blame them because they critiquing us all the time and saying bad stuff is about like who talks like that.
But look at John Moran.
Yeah, I don't want to get in the dunk contest. Like, this is crazy.
But I don't want to get in the dunk contest, the guns. You know what I'm saying? So look at how the foreign players carry themselves with a lot more class. I'm sorry, Giannis, epitome of class. I mean, that guy, and what he does on the court, he's playing rugby, not basketball. But when he has to speak about something, when he talks about all-time greats, he has a lot of respect. He has respect for the game, the league, the opportunity that he has. He has a lot of respect for the NBA as an organization. The other players don't, and there's good reason for that, though. So I'm not going to sit here and say that they have.
Who are you talking about, though?
I was talking about Giannis. I was talking about foreign players being really classy. Giannis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kyrie is one of them as well, too, Don.
I'm sorry?
Kyrie is one of them. But listen, all the American players that could be up for MVPs have been slandered. So, I mean, not slandered, but their reputation's shot. Like, like you said, Ja Morant, the guns, Anthony Edwards acting like a freaking idiot. He don't know his history. Kyrie Irving with all his stuff. Kevin Durant, the media hates him. LeBron James is a freaking grifter. Like,
I want to get more into the Tatum thing. Like, why do y'all think that? Because that's one thing we can say about Tatum. His name doesn't get dragged through the mud. He's not in any scandals. He's not saying a whole bunch of ridiculous things. Some of it seems regurgitated a lot of the times from other people. I know that's been a knock.
I can tell you exactly
what's the reasoning behind it?
Because there's a power dynamic question in Boston. A lot of these other players that are in the MVP conversations or should be in the MVP conversations, and Ja, Giannis, whatever, they're clear number ones. But there's a team identity crisis of who the true leader is, and everybody says it's Jason Tatum. Like, on paper, it should be Jason Tatum, but the game that is played in Boston on different occasions says different things. Some days it's Jason Tatum, some days it's Jaylen Brown, and I think him having that caliber of a Robin that could be a Batman on his own other team, penalizes him. They weigh
Jaylen Brown, but see, that's a misconception. Jaylen Brown cannot be. Just 2 years ago, when they lost, before they won the championship, they had Twitter
they lost to Miami
highlight reel of Jaylen Brown not being able to go left and losing the ball every time he dribbled with his left hand.
Oh yeah, we know that, but I'm telling you what the voters are saying, what the voters think.
Yeah.
I think that there's something else. There's another layer of it. It's non-basketball commentary, but Jason Tatum cried, and the media doesn't like that. Honestly, they really don't. I was surprised that Embiid got the MVP when he did, because he had been crying about MVP too. So, if
he actually had one stolen from him, though.
I'm just saying the media can't stand when they come out crying that they didn't get MVP. And the way Jason Tatum has cried, Devin Booker didn't get it when he cried. Multiple people, they don't get MVP ever if you come out criticizing the MVP voting process and how they go about doing that. So, I just think he's said a number of things, that he's underappreciated, he's underrated. He's come out and called himself the best player under 25 at times. Like, Jason Tatum, he's not. I don't know that he's so well liked in the media for some reason, and I don't think.
I don't know what it is, Dom.
I don't think he's done anything. I don't even think he's done anything wrong other than the crying. That's the only thing that I can point to that they don't like.
Yeah, that's what my question was.
The fake Mamba mentality stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. A lot of his stuff that he says seems regurgitated. It seems like he's watching the Kobe script, something like that.
Performative. You know what I'm saying? And people don't like stuff like that. So we already have LeBron James doing it.
Yeah,
we already had DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine pretend to have that flu game. You know what I mean? We have Halliburton doing the choke. Like, it's so crazy how they, take a poo-poo on the older generation, but they want to be like them so bad.
But that's why they do take a poo on them, because they want to, like, they really want to be like them so bad. And when they hear them talking bad about them, they're little they're
hurt.
Idols become
that's feminine energy on how they lash back. That comes from being raised by your mom and your dad not being around. You know what I mean? Like, men if we not seriously, men, if we thinking right, we won't lash out when authority comes. You get what I'm saying?
Mel is right. So Mel is right on this, because when you see how Halliburton responds to criticism, when you see how just some of the players that have either both of their parents or heavy influence of their father, they don't really come back saying anything crazy. They just don't. They don't need. They just don't need to have the last word, like the way that a woman might.
And Draymond does every single time.
He's sassy. He's a sassy dude. A sassy dunk.
Yeah, sassy gorilla, man. But nah, I mean, it's because if you grew up with your pops, man, he go get on you a lot about stuff, and you go be okay with authority and an authoritative voice saying something that's supposed to correct you. And that's all the old schoolers trying to do, is correct them. Hey, we see the route y'all going is not a good route to go down there.
We live in
y'all can course correct, and we're critiquing you so you can course correct.
Yeah, we live in a generation where any critique is always going to be considered hate. It's going to always be considered hate. So if I say, hey man, Ant-Man don't shoot he's shooting the ball too much. He need to drive in the cup. Man, if somebody disagrees with that take, I'm automatically the hater. I'm automatically a hater. I'm automatically a person who doesn't like the young generation because of how old I am and how young they are. And I think that that's stupid.
Hating on somebody, oh, you hate this, hate it's like the most overword used. It's the most overused word in I don't know, in today's world, I think.
Yeah. If ain't nobody got anything else, we can cut it down and go watch these last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, for the post game.
Anybody else got anything to add?
No, we'll see y'all boys in the post game.
Hey, come to the post game.
Share the link for the post game, Zoe, in the comment section and in the description. Hey, everybody who's watching, go and subscribe to Sports T. Make sure you subscribed over there if you haven't already done it. I don't know what days I could say. You still late night?
Honestly, Mel, I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to go live whenever I can. I'm still a paycheck slave, guys, so I got to go to my full-time job,
for sure.
go live when I can.
But whenever she can make it, she'll be on Full Panel Fridays, and then whenever me and her both got that time, we definitely gonna be doing our post games, especially the Knicks games. She might quit doing post games if the Knicks get put out. She probably won't do it for the final, so it'll probably be me and Zoe.
I have them losing this round, right?
Yeah, she picked them to lose.
I'm saying, but is the post game going to lose you after the Knicks lose this round? Okay, all right. I'm just making sure.
Business. I don't duck the smoke. If I lose, if I'm wrong, I'll take it.
All right, bet. Well, so y'all go subscribe on Sports T. And if you're over there, you'll see her when she goes live. But you'll also see her over here on Fridays, simulcasting on Sports T as well. And then also we simulcast when we do the post game. So appreciate everybody. Man Down's short clips as well. Zoe's running that one over there. He's putting short clips in there of some of the best content that we've got. He's putting over there. So you can go over there. I think we simulcasting over there right now as well. And then we got something coming for football season. So we'll keep y'all posted on that, and we'll catch y'all on the next show, man. Appreciate everybody.
Bye, guys.